Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Curious Cat. What do you guys think? Is this full-on war yet or what? Are they attacking us on every single level possible? The media, social media, blasting us with all of this BS. The plandemic, what do you think? Is it a plandemic or is this thing legit? Are they using it to further divide us, to have us living in fear, to extend their control, to have us constantly listening to their orders? Wear a mask, walk in line, walk this way, don't walk that way, do this, don't do that, stay inside, don't go anywhere, don't talk to anyone, stay 6 feet away. I'll do whatever I want, thanks. I don't care what you guys think. I believe in freedom. I believe in freedom of choice. I don't believe anyone should have the authority to tell me what to do. Maybe you guys think different. You think that, oh, by doing that, I'm risking everyone's safety. But when we give all these powers away to the government, that is opening the door to complete authoritarian control. And when you're living in fear and you're thinking the governments are going to be the ones that save you, that's exactly where they want us. Giving our power away, relying on them for any hope at any safety and security. So if you're always on social media and you're consuming all of this toxic content they put out, toxic narrative, then yeah, you're going to be living in fear. Just look around, go out in society right now. Everyone's in these plastic gloves and masks and goggles. Like, that is just ridiculous. Of course, everyone's living in fear. Now, look at the poor children being brought up like this and seeing this. I'm even afraid when I go out. It's scary to look at all these people with these masks and all that. And I don't, there's a lot of counter science about the effectiveness of these masks. And I know a lot of people are going to argue, and I know that's controversial. But I do believe that it's just a way they're further extending their control. These governments elite want to completely control us and having us live in fear. And they want to, I mean, just look at it. Look at what they're gaining from this. They get to crash the economy. Oh, the economy crashed because of this pandemic, and now none of you are allowed to work. You need to give up your business and your livelihood. We're just going to print the money and come in and buy everything from you guys because you guys aren't allowed to work. You're not allowed to create prosperity. So that's one way. How else are they doing it? Oh, you're not allowed to gather in people of more than 6. You're not allowed to gather in mass. You're not allowed to talk to each other anymore. Oh, you can only use social media and these digital forms of communication. You know what they're doing? They're manipulating your conversations. I know that sounds completely insane, but they are. They manipulate it. How do you know that what you're saying is getting across to the other person clearly? There's so much miscommunication that happens in text and messaging. So they don't want us gathering as people, because that's where we're strong. That's where we have our most resilience. When we can come together and start talking with one another and say, this is insane. Look at what they're doing. Look how much of our freedoms they're taking away from us. Look at how absurd this narrative is. When the numbers are so low, the death rate is so low, we have so many other things that are killing way more people, and we're not making any deal over any of them. But, oh, the death rate's so low and they're crashing the entire economy and forcing people to give up their businesses and go bankrupt and lose their homes. That is creating so much more of a crisis than this pandemic. Look around. How many people do you know that are actually getting sick? I haven't met a single person yet that's had it. So if it's that serious and deadly, why aren't we seeing the people come along with their bells and ringing their bells? Bring out your dead, bring out your dead. We're just not seeing it. So I think it's just a way they're further pushing their fear agenda. I'm not arguing that this isn't a real thing. I think, yeah, there is some kind of virus or something going around, but I just think it's probably not much worse than the common flu. And I don't know, I'm not a scientist. I'm not claiming to know that. I'm just going off intuition. And I think there's way more of a plot here, where they're just trying to extend their control, trying to get us living in fear. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to stop us from uniting. They're trying to look at how they've been able to make it illegal. You can't even join in numbers now. Oh, it's, you know, you own your house, but you can't have the freedom to choose to have your friends over to have a conversation and decide how to create prosperity and resilience in this world. No, six or more gathering illegal. We're going to come in and arrest you, throw you in jail. It's absurd. Oh, you're choosing to operate your business so you can create prosperity for your family and make sure your family has food on the table? Illegal. So it's just a power grab. It's a wealth grab, control grab, and more fear pushing, more dividing. Now look at this whole thing. You know how many friends people have lost over this? It's like, oh, what side of the fence are you on? Oh, you're an anti-masker? Oh, I hate you. You're everything that's wrong with the world. You're killing all our people. Oh. So further divide, further creating more arguments amongst us, instead of just realizing we're all in this together. So these are just some of the ways they're using this whole thing to further divide us and conquer us. It's nuts. I just think it's absolutely insane. Hopefully you guys are kind of waking up to this. I mean, look at the numbers, look around. There's a lot of counter science, and the interesting part is that anything that's coming out that's counter to their narrative is censored and taken down. The attack on freedom of speech right now is out of control. Anyone speaking truth is attacked and shadow banned and censored and deplatformed. Right there should tell you what's going on. This is a major effort on their part to extend this centralized control and to take away our livelihoods and our resilience and our prosperity. They want us all on universal basic income, at the mercy of how much the governments decide they'll give us this month. Everyone gives up their businesses and the ways that they've been able to provide for their family, give it away, all in the name of universal basic income. Oh, the governments will save us. Don't worry, they're giving us financial support. So you give it all up. They start giving your handouts. And then what they'll do is they devalue the dollar, so those handouts become worth less and less, and they buy you less and less until the point where it barely is enough to survive. And we've already given up our resilience. We've given up our businesses that created prosperity for our families. And now we're at the mercy of the governments. And then they're going to ban cash, and they're going to get us all into digital cash, and they're going to be able to control all our transactions, tell us what we can and can't buy, tell us what we can and can't do. And if you don't listen, then you're fined and ticketed, and the money's withdrawn from your account, and you're not allowed to get out of the currency as it devalues. They force us all into these digital currencies. Complete control. That's what they want. These guys are psychopaths. They're absolutely insane. You need to look after yourself, because I'll tell you right now, the governments are not going to be there for you when times get tough. They're not going to be there to save you and your family. You think they are right now because they're giving you a little government handout? That's going to be worth nothing in the future. People are still living paycheck to paycheck. So it's not creating resilience. It's just enough to get by. That's where they want you. Just enough so you're not rioting. It's sad, I know. It's kind of depressing. Maybe you don't want to acknowledge this, but that's what's going on. It's a power grab. They want all the power for themselves. They want all the resources for themselves. They want us all to be paying these massive mortgages on little shit boxes in cities, live in a little tiny box surrounded by 20 Wi-Fi signals and cell phone signals all coming in, beaming you with toxic waves, destroying your health and your resilience. And how are you supposed to be resilient in the city? You can't even grow a garden. You can't even hunt. Your water's all chlorinated and fluorinated. Fluorinated, I don't think that's a word. But you get it. It's an attack on our health, on our freedom, on our prosperity, on our resilience. So we need to rise up, you guys. We need to wake up. That's why I've been making these videos. I'm trying to get this info out there. And I could be mad. Well, I know I am mad. That's fine. I embrace my madness these days. I don't even care anymore. I'll just speak whatever I want. I have no one to impress. And I'm going to look after myself, and I'm going to look after my tribe. It's been a major divide in the last year. All kinds of toxic people jumping out against men against whites. They're saying all this anti-racism, but they're hating on white people, white males. So pretty funny how they contradict themselves, and that's just everywhere these days. Attacking capitalism. Capitalism is what has been the foundation of the prosperity that we've created in North America, and now they have everyone believing that capitalism is the problem, when really what we have right now is kleptocratic socialism, where they steal from you and I, they ride on our backs, they tax us to death, they steal our money through inflation, through taxation, and then they privatize the profits and they publicize the losses, and they get the taxpayer paying for all the losses, bailouts, bail-ins. But anytime they make profits, oh, that's all privatized. They don't share that with us. And then all these big corporations paying next to nothing in tax, offshore accounts, tax evasion, that's fine. Slap on the wrist if they're caught. You and I do it, we go to jail. We're paying 5 times more tax than the corporations, and we're barely able to make ends meet, barely able to make rent, make our bills. But yeah, they're talking about white male privilege. What about the elite privilege? What about this corporate privilege? What about all these politicians scamming us, taking our money and handing out the contracts to their friends and family? How about that privilege? How about riding around in private jets, golfing all day and owning 10 mansions all over the world with the money you just print out of thin air? That's privilege. You don't have to tell me about white male privilege. I'm sure maybe we're more privileged than some of the other slaves, but we're all slaves. We're all plebs. So don't kid yourself. Don't get fooled by these lies. It's all smoke and mirrors. Oh, look over here. Look over there. Oh, Black Lives Matter. Oh, Antifa. Oh, this and that. Oh, left or right. Look at all the political stuff. What side are you on? Oh, you're that side? Oh, I hate you. So it's all just this bullshit to get us arguing amongst ourselves, to keep us from looking at the true potential solutions, the true path to liberation, the true path to regaining our power and control and creating prosperity for our friends, our families, and all that. Coming into our power as masculine and feminine, uniting, creating strength and resilience and anti-fragility. They don't want you knowing any of that. They censor all the videos. Anytime I talk about Bitcoin or a lot of this self-help stuff that you can use to make yourself a better person, put yourself in a better position, they highly censor those videos. They get very few likes on that kind of stuff. So any of the true solutions that are being offered, they want to silence that. They don't want you knowing about that. They want you living in fear. They want you giving up any of... One second. Rudy, hey, come on. They want you giving up all of that. They want you relying on their government handouts so that you need them. They want you to need them. So all these socialists, they're pushing for communism here in Canada and socialism. And it comes from a good place. Sure, I used to be into socialism until I looked a little deeper and did my research and looked back through history and see where it always leads. Complete government control. And then they devalue the dollar, they bankrupt everything, they destroy the economy, and then you're all at the mercy of the government, and then the governments go bankrupt and they've already backdoored all the wealth, and then they let society crumble. And meanwhile, they've stolen anything of worth out the back door. And they essentially get everything for themselves. So that's how they're doing this, you guys. It's sick. I know it's depressing. I don't want to get you guys depressed, but there are solutions, and I talk about that in some of my videos. So look back through some of them. Learn about hard money, learn about the financial system. That's how they're really controlling us. That is at the foundation of all of this. If we have a hard money, then we can create prosperity, because we can... One second. Rudy, off the road. Over here. Hey, come here. Hey, just drive, he'll move. Sorry, man. What a guy. Rudy, come here. Stupid dog. I discipline him, but I'd probably have all kinds of animal rights activists over my back. No, I wouldn't do that. I'll just give them a good pet. Reward them for not listening. Anyways, ranting. So yeah, guys, it's an attack on our freedoms, on the ways we're creating resilience. They don't want us all at the mercy of them. They want us thinking, because what they're going to do, they're going to create the crisis like they've already done, and then they're going to come in with the solution. And the solution was already planned well before the crisis. And the solution, who knows what it's going to be yet. We have some pretty good ideas, but let me tell you, it's definitely going to benefit them. It's going to benefit the elite, the rich families, corporations. They're all intertwined. The politicians, the head CEOs of all these major corporations, the banks, the media, they're all tied together. Dig a little deeper. Learn about it. All the major media companies are owned by 6 entities, which are all tied in with the banks and the politicians. So when you own all of those limbs of society, it's unbelievable how much control you have and how much you're able to manipulate people and to sway the narrative. So anything you see going viral on social media, they don't let anything go viral unless they want it to. So anything that goes viral, you know it's one of their tactics. So that's a good way to get an idea of what they're trying to do. You just see, what did they let go viral? Oh, they let Greta go viral. Okay, well, they probably want that information getting out there. So they want us all to believe that we're guilty of global warming. We're the ones causing this. We're all killing ourselves. We're killing our planet. Well, you're a rapist then. You're raping the planet. Give up everything in the name of sustainability. Give up your cars. Give up your business. Why would you drive anywhere? You're just polluting. Don't have kids. You're destroying the world. You're everything that's wrong with the world. So they push all this narrative so you feel all this guilt and you basically paralyze yourself. You can't even drive around. You can't even enjoy your life here because you feel too guilty that you're destroying the earth and raping your mother. That's the narrative they push. Oh, you're raping Mother Earth. Of course, if you're raping your mother, you're a horrible person. So that's how they twist this. They get this into your mind in a very subtle way, and they get you carrying all this guilt and that. So you can see the war on capitalism, blaming capitalism. We haven't had true free market capitalism in decades. And they're trying to say that's the reason for all this capitalistic greed. No, it's because they're stealing our wealth. It's kleptocracy. And it's socialism on a huge level where the corporations are taking our taxpayers' money. They're subsidizing specific industries and awarding the contracts and the subsidies of our hard-earned money that they tax us, and then they give it to the corporations, which they own. It's a big racket. It's a huge scam. Getting us all working for these dollars that they're devaluing every day, printing more and more of it, counterfeiting the money, giving it to themselves. They come in and buy our assets that you and I have to work a lifetime just at a chance to acquire some of these assets. So it's very hard if you're lower or middle class to get out of that. And so when they're constantly devaluing the currency, it's basically having a hole in your pocket. So you're working so hard to get the money, but it's just falling out of your pocket. So you can never get ahead. It's all by design. So we need to, the money, that's why I speak a lot about money and currency, because it's at the root of it. We need to have a strong, hard money. And if you don't know what hard money is, look back through some of my videos. I do discuss that. I'll make another video soon on hard money and explain what it is and why we need it. But we need a hard money at the foundation of free market capitalism. And we need to reward people for their efforts. So if somebody is producing something of value that the world needs, they need to be rewarded. In socialism, it doesn't matter how much value you're producing, how much of whatever you're producing, you're not allowed to earn anything more than they decide. Everyone gets the same wage. So some lazy jerk who just does nothing for the world, sits on his couch and plays video games his whole life, and he's supposed to get the same amount of pay as somebody like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. Does it make any sense? So I'm a believer in capitalism. I think we do need to reward people for their efforts. I just think we could tweak the system so that we don't have the pooling of wealth problem, which is a major problem. But you could have some kind of cap on how much money you could earn, and that, or hopefully people just come back into their more inherent good nature and they decide to share their profits if they're able to create that much wealth and to help the less fortunate. But those are just my thoughts. I know a ton of people hate capitalism, but I think they've got it all wrong. I don't think people even know what capitalism is. I talk to a lot of people. I actually have no idea. It's pretty funny. And people think we have capitalism now, and we don't at all. Just follow some other channels, follow some of the gurus, and learn about money and all that, and you'll see. You don't publicize or socialize all the losses of private corporations if you have capitalism. Capitalism, in a true capitalist society, if a business makes bad decisions and they fail, they go bankrupt. And that's how we essentially have the resilient companies and the ones that are producing value that remain. So we would have already had all these bankers go bust back in 2008. And they should have, because they're the leeches of society. They went bankrupt for a reason, because they placed bad bets. They made bad business decisions. So instead, we socialized those losses and got the average taxpayer to pay for them. So that's not capitalism. Capitalism, they would have been gone a long time ago, and that's the beauty of capitalism. Only the companies that are operating within their means and producing something of value are able to last the test of time and rise to the top. So they're lying to us. Everything's a lie. Look around. Everything's a lie. Everything's doublespeak these days. So whatever they're saying, it's probably the exact opposite of what's actually true. And anyone speaking truth is attacked. And so there's this major divide right now. There's a major divide where it's really coming to light. You're seeing all of the the sheep that are buying into this, and they're not able to look past the surface. They're just taking everything they hear on the media as 100% truth, and they're living in all this fear and control, and then they're looking at the rest of us like we're the black sheep, we're the horrible ones. And the ones that are truly awakening and realizing what's going on and seeing through the cracks in the system are being censored and shadow banned, deplatformed and silenced and attacked and shunned by society. There's so many. The masses are actually brainwashed right now. So anyone speaking truth is kind of ganged up on, and they have all kinds of names for us. I won't even get into that. So it becomes harder and harder to speak your truth because of fear of being shunned by the masses. And it hurts, all the names they call you and all the friends you lose. I had to go through those flames, and you will too if you're going to awaken to the truth. But it's also a blessing to lose these people, these toxic people from your life that aren't willing to think critically with their minds anymore. They're so brainwashed and controlled by all the blue light. They're brainwashing us through the blue light, LED lights, computer screens, Wi-Fi signals, cell phone signals, GPS signals, all being beamed right to your pocket. Most people sleep with their phone right by their head. Fluoride in the water, chemicals all over the food. So brushing your teeth with fluoride toothpaste and swallowing it. So there's all kinds of ways they're controlling the masses, and they're making their brains susceptible to this brainwashing. So there's very few of us that are able to escape that. We are the minority right now, but we need to come together and we need to speak up, and we need to keep uniting and sharing our thoughts with one another. And eventually, I think good will prevail. I think eventually the masses will wake up and realize they were duped. But I think it's going to have to get a lot worse before it gets better. So we're just going to have to ride this out. We're going to have patience and really cherish your friends that are awoke to this, because there's few of us, and we need to stay strong amongst ourselves. So those are just some of my thoughts. I could be completely mad. Like I said, I know I'm mad. I don't care anymore. Mad isn't pissed off. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. Well, whatever. I'm not even pissed off. I'm not going to hold that kind of stuff, but I'm just glad I'm speaking about it and I'm awake to it. Spent a lot of years looking into this stuff and figuring out what's going on. And a lot of people haven't had that luxury. They've been busy with family and businesses and that. So not everyone has dug deep enough to see behind the veil. So yeah, call me a conspiracy theorist, a madman, a chauvinistic white, what do they call us? Nazis? I don't know. Anyways, like I said, they have all kinds of names for us. I don't even care anymore. But you guys, we got to look after ourselves. We got to come together. It's very hard to come together right now. I've never felt so alone in my life, but that's also an opportunity. It's an open canvas, and I get to decide who I allow into my life this time. And I'm going to be way more picky with the people I let into my life this time, because I see the downside of letting in all these toxic people and trying to be friends with everyone and then trying to conform to the madness of the masses. One thing I know for sure is the masses are always wrong. So when everyone's doing something, probably start looking the opposite direction. Those are my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm ranting now. Oh, I'm always ranting, but I hope you guys like it. With that being said, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Stay prosperous, stay strong, stay healthy, stay resilient, stay anti-fragile. And embrace your true masculine and feminine. Come into your power and be the person you want to be, and don't be ashamed. Speak your truth. Rise up. Don't give in to the pressure of the masses. They are always wrong. I love you guys.